Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Emmy and this is my channel Frugal Money Saver, where we talk about all kinds of ways to save money, living debt-free or getting to that point, I'm hoping. And it's a lot of fun. We just have a great time and I share ideas and you leave me comments and share ideas with me, and I'm very thankful for that. So what I want to talk about today is how we did financially in 2019. And I'm going to keep it real. Where did we come below budget and where we need to do even a little bit better for this coming year. It's basically staying debt-free. We are debt-free and we want to continue to remain debt-free. We are on, for those who are new here, we are on one salary family. My husband retired in 2017, so we are living on his pension basically. So we're doing okay, we're doing great. We have an abundant life with less money, and I show you how to do that. And afterwards, I want to share my frugal beef stovetop stew recipe with you. Amazing, frugal, and oh my gosh, in this weather, so hearty and delicious. So if this sounds interesting, please stick around, click that subscribe button. I'm trying to get to 300 subscribers by February, and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of this. So stop the chatter, let's get to work. Okay, I'm gonna put my glasses on because you know I cannot see close up. Can see far away, just not close. Okay, so this morning I sat down and I went through everything. You know I keep an expense tracker, and I am going to list that video, link it, not list it, list that video at the end of this video, and I will also link it down below. What it is basically is we track every penny we spend, from a McDonald's drive-through to our home taxes and everything in between. And it is a way to keep us accountable, because when you see this on paper, wow, okay, you know, we need to pull back, or okay, we have a little wiggle room here. But it's very important we keep track of what money is leaving our hands and going into someone else's hands. Because if you're spending more than you make, that's where the trouble starts. Okay, so I sat this morning and I took all 12 months of 2019 and I added up every category. How did we do? So we did do well on some categories. Okay, we came down in gasoline for our automobiles. We came down $300 from the year before. Now, I have to be honest, is that just because prices came down in gas? We've been holding pretty steady at about $2.69 here in the Northeast, which for some of you, I'm sure that's crazy high. But we did come in $300 below than what we spent on gas the year before. So I was happy about that. The one category I was thrilled about was electricity, because we have really gotten frugal on electricity. I refuse to dry jeans. I have a drying rack. Any heavy items, towels, jeans, stuff like that, I put on my drying rack, and then when they are dry, I will literally throw them in the dryer for 5 minutes just to soften them up, because my poor husband's putting his jeans on and walking like this. So, all right, I'll give you 5-minute dryer time just to soften them a little. But I have really watch our electricity, shut lights out when we leave the room, all that good stuff. So big savings. We went from $1,200 for electric for the year in 2018 to $775 electric in 2019. So I was really thrilled about that. That's almost half. So I really watched that, and that I did okay. Eating out. I've got to get this lower. I don't know when we're, it's like, what? Okay, the year, I did come down. Last year, In 2018, we spent over $3,000 eating out for the year. For the year, $3,000. That was ridiculous. I was mortified, I was shocked, and I was basically embarrassed that we had spent that kind of money so frivolously. So for 2019, we got it down. I'm still embarrassed to tell you this, but my husband was like, but that's not so bad. But yeah, it is. $1,500 for the year. So what does that come to? About, gosh, let me do it right here. 1,500 divided by 12, $125 a month. Being honest with you, I failed in this category, and I'm looking, and you know what it is? Because I have it all written down here. It's when we go out for birthdays and big meals, and that's what happens. Here's a birthday meal, $45. Another one, $66.92. So it's these anniversary meals, birthday meals, some kind of celebration, my son, they add up, because those are not the let's go to Burger King and get the $5 meal for two. This is a substantial amount of money, and we are going to bring that down. So I am keeping it honest with you, and I need to improve on that big time. So I would love to know what you do for like birthdays and anniversaries to make them extra special. And I am going to implement that this year. I am going to really try hard on that, to not use that as an excuse to eat out, but to find ways to cook home and make it super extra special. Okay? So overall, those were just 3 things that I saw a significant change. You know, my taxes, where are they going? They're always going to be the same. They're high. We live in the Northeast. They're ridiculous. Our health insurance, again, we pay out of pocket. It's ridiculous. So those things kind of are set, and we don't have a lot of leeway room with them. How did we do on food? Okay, last year, I stay about the same. I've got to bring that down. For paper goods and health and beauty and food and everything like that, we about $75 a week. I can't seem to get that down. I got to try harder this year though, because I think we can bring that down even a little bit more, because I do have a tendency to buy and stock up more than we need. We always end up using it, but I think I may buy things sometimes because they're on sale and I don't really need them, but I'll put them away. So I have to really look at that and make sure I'm using up what we have in a timely fashion. So that's another way I'm going to try to improve. But I'm keeping it real here with you all. You're my accountability, and I appreciate you all so much. You have no idea, all my friends. So, okay, so that's where we're at for 2020. Make a budget. Please make a budget. It helps so much financially. You become aware of where every penny is going. And that is so important, because we are such a throwaway society. We are a society that wants instant gratification, and we need to put the brakes on that. Put some money away if you can in 2020. Have that safety net. Okay, now for my frugal stovetop beef stew. We had bought a roast. It was $1.99 a pound, which for a piece of beef I thought was great. So we made it in the oven. It was like a little roast beef. It was delicious. We thoroughly enjoyed that, because we do not do that often. But it was such a great price. And we had a bunch left over. So I froze it right away. It was cooked already. And then I took the rest, cut it and cubed it, and made this stew recipe. So give it a watch. It comes out amazing. So hearty, so warming. You're gonna love it. What I truly love about this recipe is it takes and uses what you have in your home already. And with this little bit of leftover beef, I think I have like 2.5 cups of beef, but let me go through the ingredients. First thing you're going to do is, I have a half of onion that I chopped, normal, little dice that. Then I sliced 2 carrots, 2 stalks of celery, 3 small potatoes. I had some frozen peas, so I'm going to throw that in. I've got some mushrooms, and the reason they are this large, my husband does not like mushrooms. He can have them as a flavoring if they're not too much, but I love them, so I leave them like that so he doesn't get a mushroom by mistake. And then what I did is I took literally it's like 2 cups of meat from a leftover roast we had frozen. We didn't finish it, and I stuck it in the freezer and I cut it up. And with these simple ingredients, and I have about a cup and a half of chicken broth. I don't even have beef broth, I have chicken, but I think this is going to be fine. And we are going to make a delicious, comforting, warm stew that takes no time at all to, I think the hardest part really was cutting the vegetables, which really took no time at all. So let's put this together. So I put about a tablespoon and a half of olive oil in the bottom of my pan, and I am just quick cooking my onions just to get them soft and translucent. And then I will go about adding the rest of my vegetables, but this is the first step. I just looked outside. I don't know if my husband can capture it, but if you look at my thermometer, oh, there it is. It is about, I would say about 15 degrees here in New York. So that's why we're making this pot of stew today. I just added celery and carrots. My onions had cooked down. They were translucent and soft. Now I am just going to release a little of the flavor of the carrots and the celery by just giving them a quick toss with the olive oil in a hot pan before I add the liquids and the rest of the vegetables. This is a step I take. You probably could just dump everything in, but I take a minute more just to do this. I don't know why, but I think it just releases. It gives it a little bit of a roasted taste to the celery and carrots, and I think it comes out good this way. Okay? Now I'm going to add, if you can see in there, I added a clove of cut up garlic. I didn't want to add the garlic too early because garlic burns and it becomes extremely bitter if you overcook garlic. So I just wanted it in there till I can smell it. Sorry about banging. Okay, we're going to add a little pepper. And in this recipe, I do add a little salt because with these vegetables, you just need it to release a little bit of the water and the flavor. So there we have that. Now I'm going to add the rest of the vegetables. My peas were frozen, but that's no problem. Put my giant mushrooms in so that my husband doesn't have to get one on his plate. Heaven forbid. There we go. So everything's in the pot now. And what I'm going to do is that a quick stir. Now I'm going to put this here, and I'm going to put in about 2 cups of chicken stock. If you have beef stock, that's great. I don't, but I think the chicken will work fine. And I'm also going to put in 2 cups of water to that so that we can have, you could use all stock too. I just think you don't need to. I think that 2 cups of stock and 2 cups of water will give a tremendous flavor and all those vegetables we have. And then I am going to put in my cubed beef leftover. I'm going to toss this all around. You can add any other spices at this point you'd like to. I am going to leave it just like this and let the true taste of the meat and vegetables come through. I'm going to put a cover on it. And I am going to cook it over medium heat roughly for about 30 minutes and we'll check on it. Look at this delicious pot of simmering, comforting stew. I did 15 minutes with the cover on, 15 minutes with the cover off, And now I'm just gonna leave the cover off and cook it down just a little bit. We like our stews a little bit thicker. So I am going to let this cook. I'll let you know for how long, and then maybe we'll add a little cornstarch and even thicken it more. But for right now, I'm just gonna cook it a little bit more with the lid off. So I let it cook for about another 15 minutes with the cover off. Now look at this. It is beautiful, it's thickened, and I think we are going to be good. Could not be easier. Stovetop beef stew. Frugal because you're using up what you have. Delicious, comforting for this colder weather we're having, and nutritious. Lots of veggies, meat, good for you. So what I'm going to do is link this recipe below. And also, if you want to thicken it, you know you can add a little tiny bit of cornstarch and water and mix that in, and that will thicken it even more if you prefer it thicker. But this looks absolutely great. How delicious did that look? It was so good. I served it with biscuits and we had a feast, and it got a couple meals out of that. It was so good. I'm not kidding. Give it a try. Use what vegetables you have on hand, frozen, fresh, whatever. I mean, you saw I just added whatever was around and it came out so good. So I appreciate you being here. I kept it real with my budget. Keep me accountable. You know, I need to watch this eating out on special occasions, and I need to just keep, you know, cutting back a little bit more. My spending has to be justified to us, and when I see that we have spent without really giving it good thought, that bothers me. So let me know how you're doing for 2020. I'm going to link my video above for my expense tracker, how to use it, how to start 2020 on the right foot financially. Okay? I hope this video has been super helpful to you. If it has, please give me a thumbs up. That helps so much. Click that subscribe button, click that notification bell, hold it, and go to all, so that you will see all my videos each and every time I post one. I appreciate you so much. Leave me a comment below. I love to interact. I answer each and every one personally. I appreciate you so much. I wish you blessings. And until my next video, see you in a little bit.